Hey guys, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy coming at you with another review. If you follow my channel, you know that I typically review one bottle per episode, but I'm taking a break from that right now, and I'm looking at a few themed-based episodes. I've got 2 more after this, and then I'll go back, and I'm really enjoying this. My last episode was a top 10 winner, which officially starts tomorrow, and this is a top 10 compliment getter episode suggested by you, the subscribers. So now, first of all, I want to say a few things about compliment getter episodes to start you off, especially for those out there who don't watch a lot of the fragrance review episodes on YouTube. First of all, this is a divisive topic in fragcom, in the fragrance community, for frag heads. You see people who love compliment getter episodes, and then you see people who roll their eyes. And I'll tell you why. There tends to be kind of 2 camps. If you go to basenotes.net, forgranted.com, you're going to see Facebook groups. You're going to see kind of 2 camps. And every once in a while there's a tension between the 2, which I frankly don't understand because we all love fragrance. Who cares why? In one camp, there tends to be, this person is someone who, this is a hobby, it's a lifestyle, it's a personal endeavor. They love the fragrances, they love the smells, they frankly could care less about compliments, and they could care less on the effect that it has on other people. They just love, they're very valuable because in the fragrance websites and discussion boards, they're able to break down the notes and really give explicit description much better than most of us. And I'm every time I read reviews on a fragrance, there's always at least 1 or 2 that really just blow me away, and how detail oriented they can be in their descriptions. Just amazing. I'm not sure if I'll ever get there, but I certainly enjoy trying. Now the other camp tends to be the, hey, just whatever, I just want something that smells fantastic and is going to garner me compliments. And yeah, those tend to be the single guys. But when it comes to that camp, again, it's not so much concern about the notes and the longevity, whatever, blah blah blah. It's just the effect that it has on other people. So we have 2 camps going on, and I'm actually pretty much in the middle. I mean, I tend to be more of the I enjoy wearing it type, that I'm going to wear it. I have many fragrances for which I've never received a compliment. In fact, you know what I was thinking about doing? I was thinking about doing an episode later of top 10 fragrances that I liked for which I received no compliments or even negative feedback. Okay, so maybe that'll be in the pipeline. I'd like to do that actually. So yeah, as I was saying, I tend to be a little bit more toward the camp of I wear it because I like it. That said, I do admit that if I have a few fragrances that if I get a lot of negative feedback and I'm kind of iffy on it anyway, then I probably just won't get that again. So that's where I am. I'm kind of in the middle, probably tilting to the I wear it because I like it crowd. But they kind of go hand in hand, don't they? Because if you like a fragrance, often, and you feel like it gives you more presence in a particular situation, oftentimes that's the very fragrance that will garner you compliments, because people subconsciously or consciously notice the effect that it has on you. So there are many ways to look at this. You probably didn't expect it to be so deep, did you? So now let's take a look at the ground rules for this episode. So first and foremost, there are 2 types of compliments. One is solicited. So one is if I go around and I spray it and then I say, "Hey, guy, what do you think of this? What do you think of this fragrance?" And someone says, "Oh, yeah, that's really nice. What is it?" Okay, that's a compliment, but it's solicited compliment. Now, unsolicited compliment is when somebody stops you and says, "Hey, whoa, I just wanted to ask you something. That's a really nice fragrance. What is it that you're wearing?" And so that's what we're going to focus on today. On the ground rules for the list are top 10 compliment getters. First of all, it must be unsolicited. The second rule that I have is I'm going to exclude family members, people who see me every day and know that I love fragrances. This list is not necessarily. I do have others that have garnered me a lot of compliments, but those would be people who specifically know that I like fragrance, and they're in my family. And so I'm going to be, most of the list here are from compliments are from strangers, or people that I don't necessarily see every day. So here we go. Without further ado, let's begin. First, and you'll have to forgive me, I'm going to have to be looking down at my list a little bit because I have pretty extensive notes here. This is a big moment. The first one, and I want to say, unfortunately, I don't have a bottle for every single one. You guys, if you've seen Compliment Getter episodes, you know they have all the bottles. I have many, but once I run out, I can't afford always to go get more. And so, and some of these are samples. I simply don't have the cash to pull that off to buy another one for some of these, but I will as soon as I can. So the first one is an honorable mention. This is number 11, I guess you could say, and I have to include this one. I'm not going to talk about every single compliment for each one, but I have to say, my daughter and I were at a supermarket, and when we were going through the checkout, the cashier stopped, and she said, "Whoa! What are you wearing?" She didn't ask who was wearing it. She just said, "Whoa, what are you wearing?" And this was a sample. It's on my honorable mention because I only had a couple days worth in my sample, but I got a big compliment, on the one day that I wore it, out and about. And she stopped checking the food and through, and she said, "Well, what is that?" And I said, "It is." Can you take a guess? It's an acronym, known mostly by its acronym. Oftentimes people don't even know the full name of it. Can you think of it? LIDGE. It is LIDGE. And I'll put that because I will be putting that down there. And that is, I will give you my best at French, l'instant dégalant extrême. And that is the instant, it looks like the instant of Guerlain, the company, and then it's extreme. So it's l'instant, instant de Guerlain extrême. So it looks like LIDGE, and people just call it LIDGE for that reason. So what she did was she immediately tore off the piece of paper where the receipts come out, and on a blank, and she said, "You have to write this down. I will be buying this for my boyfriend," and that is my honorable mention. LIDGE, l'instant dégalant extrême. Number 10. Number 10 is another sample, actually, but I recently wore this. This is Beach Hut Man by Amouage. So my list is mostly designer, but I do have niche, because these are my top 10 compliment getters. I mean, I don't care if they're designer or what, but this one also is a sample. It belongs in the top 10, number 10, because I got many compliments from people that I don't see very often. You might recall in the previous couple episodes I mentioned this one. The dental hygienist also asked, and she actually got on Google and started looking this up, and then the receptionist came into the room and she said, "Oh, so you're the one who smells so good," and she also wrote it down for her fiance. So is Beach Hut Man by Amouage expensive? Yes, but man, it is really, really good. If you get this as a discounter for under $200, you should grab it. Okay, on to 9. 9, I also don't have a bottle, but this is really my top 10 of all time compliment getters. So this one has to be on here, and it's a tie. If you allow ties, this isn't the Olympics. Number 9 must be Armani Code and Armani Mania. Okay, and I'm going to include Mania because I frankly like Mania a little bit more, but it has been discontinued, so it's a little harder to get. Now, here's the advantage of that, though. Armani Mania is mandarin, it's saffron, and it's wood. I really like Mania, and it got a lot of compliments. Now, if it's been discontinued and it's harder to get, you can work that to your advantage. If you find a bottle of Armani Mania relatively cheaply, inexpensive, you should go for it, because it smells nice, but a lot of people don't know about it. For the Armani line, the Mania kind of fell under the radar, didn't it? Because Code was an explosion, came out after, I think, right around that time. And then they started doing the Code flankers, and then, of course, Acqua di Giò, Essenza, etc., etc. And so Mania oftentimes flies under the radar for a lot of people, but it is, don't underestimate that one. That is a really, really nice fragrance, and it garnered me a lot of compliments. Especially at work. And then tied with it, number 9 is Armani Code. I mean, what list would be complete without Armani Code? You want to call it the smell of electronics. Some people say it smells like shoes. It smells it's just unequivocally masculine. It's what I like about it is it's professional, but yet it's also would be perfect for a social situation. So when I think of Armani Code, you know, I actually think of the marketing behind it. I mean, it really does work. But Armani Code is kind of the fragrance you would wear at work. And then if someone said, hey, let's go to happy hour afterwards, and you went out with all your colleagues right after work for a couple of hours, it would be a perfect fragrance for that as well. I just love that about Armani Code. It is it's the perfect blend of professional, masculine, and social. All right, that is 9. Number 8 is Chrome Azzaro. Azzaro, A-Z-Z-A-R-O. Yeah, okay. People always, if you're rolling your eyes, it's because you think this smells like Windex. Look, it smells a little bit like Windex. A little bit. But it's clean, it's sharp, it's masculine. Yes, it's a crowd pleaser. That's why it's a compliment getter. It also smells like Gucci Pour Homme 2. It has kind of that tea note in it. So if you like Gucci Pour Homme 2 because of the tea note, you will also really appreciate this one. It's kind of like Gucci Pour Homme meets a freshie, right? It's very fresh, aquatic. So that's kind of where a lot of people stop, right? The 90s aquatics. This is a 90s aquatic. It's a freshie. But don't dismiss it because of that. It really is a perfect work. If nothing else, it's a perfect work fragrance. It smells nice. If you're watching this episode because you're looking for your partner and he is not so much into fragrances, and you're thinking, I just want to find, all he wants to do is smell good. He's got like 1 or 2 bottles. This would absolutely be something that he would like, because I just don't know how anyone could dislike this fragrance. You could say it's dated. You could say it's that's what my dad wears. Whatever, blah blah blah. But you can't say it doesn't smell nice. And if you get a tester, by the way, through discounters, this is my 3rd bottle, and this is a tester, and I picked it up for $20 or $30. I mean, you can really get this very, very inexpensively. Chrome coming in at number 8. So number 7, I don't have a bottle of it currently, but it's another one that's actually very inexpensive, which is Montblanc Individuel, and it looks like Individual by Montblanc. And I'll put that down there, of course, so you can see it. It looks like Montblanc. Montblanc is the pen company. They started off, they're famous for making pens, right? Writing utensils. And then they all of a sudden started getting into the fragrance business and do a very, very good job at it. And they're not the most original fragrances in the world, but they smell really, really nice. In fact, the one you probably know them for is Legend. That's easily their biggest seller. But Individuel is just perfect if you like a blend of fruity and sweet with woody. And so I call it, in fact, I call this one the Great Popsicle fragrance. And I got a ton of compliments on this one. It does have a very strong grape popsicle vibe to it. But right when you think it's too fruity, it tones down, and actually the woods come out of the mid notes. And so for the price, I mean, you're talking again $20 to $30 for a 100 milliliter 3.4 ounce bottle. That is very, very, very good. Again, if you're also the kind of person that likes to smell differently than others, Individuel is a great choice, because you probably don't know anybody else who has it. So that's another plus for it. And as I said earlier, when I think of Individuel, I think of perfect balance of fruity sweet with woody and masculine. Home run for Montblanc. Okay, number 6, Dolce Gabbana pour homme. And as I mentioned in a previous episode, this is, I've had multiple bottles, but the other ones were the new one, where the Dolce Gabbana part is actually embossed onto the bottle. And the original one actually has a label instead, and this is the original. Here's the criticism. The criticism that it smells like baby shampoo, especially the reformulated. So if it says Dolce Gabbana on the bottle, which it probably does for you, then it's going to have a lot less tobacco. So this one smells kind of like baby shampoo and chamomile. So those two combined is really what you get out of this fragrance. It is a 90s kind of fresh smelling fragrance, but it is really good, and it is a crowd pleaser, and it will garner you a lot of compliments. I like the original. I do. So here's the deal: the reformulation is not bad. A lot of people say it's bad. It's not bad. It's just, it's not quite as good as the original, but it is close. The original has more tobacco. I do find it a little bit more masculine, but the new one would be perfect if you'd like to just smell nice at work. And definitely a 5-star fragrance for me. Okay, on to number 5, the top 5. Number 5 is Burberry Touch. And this one is definitely on the sweet side. And Burberry Touch is sometimes I refer to, in other episodes I've referred to what I call the Burberry Touch effect. Burberry Touch is sweet, but what I really like about it, besides the fragrance, it smells great, but what I really like about Burberry Touch is it's the perfect balance for the price point. The perfect balance of longevity and projection. So it lasts well over a work shift. You're going to get 8 to 10 hours out of this. However, the projection is never, I mean, unless you overspray it, right? But the projection is never too much. It stays within an arm's length, and it's a very inviting fragrance. This is perfect. This is good for work, but I would definitely put this in a nighttime romantic category because it smells great. And it's not overpowering, and it lasts a long time. This was my first Burberry, and then I just got Burberry London a couple days ago, and wow, that house is really climbing up for me because both of these fragrances are fantastique. Okay, it is time. It's kind of a defeat for me, folks. Okay. Is another tie. This is not the Olympics. I can do that. And it is my personal favorite, and it should be number 1. Damn. It is Acqua di Giò Essenza, tied with the king, Acqua di Giò. Acqua di Giò. Pour homme. Sometimes this is 125 milliliters. You know, a lot of people really like the Profumo, the black bottle. And that one's good too, but it has kind of a hay note. I like it, but man, this has been discontinued. It is fantastic. It's a slightly more mature, updated version of this. Some people have said that it has kind of a fish odor to it. Nah, I don't get that whatsoever. All I get is magic, okay? And don't ever mess with the best. Don't ever put this down because it's the number 1 selling fragrance in the last 8,433 years of the United States, okay? Don't put it down because of that. If you don't like it, just because it's an aquatic, or if you think it's an refreshy, if it's dated, if my ex-boyfriend used to wear it, my 3 ex-husbands used to wear it, fine. Hate it for that. Don't hate it because it's the bestseller. Because it's not its fault that it's the bestseller. It's the bestseller because it is the best. Okay, I've said that too much. All right, and then actually, what will be interesting to you, many of you have asked about the size, and this is a 400 milliliter, 13.5 fluid ounce. Okay, so just to give you an idea. This is a 100 milliliter, a standard bottle, and this is 400. So it's 4 bottles of cologne in this one. Will I get through it? Yep, probably by the end of 2020, to be honest with you. The king, but coming in at number 4, begrudgingly for compliment getters. Number three is my concert slash evening romantic. It's just everything. It's just a special occasion fragrance. This has to be on here. Probably because I just feel so good wearing it. If you ever have a day where you're feeling a little blue, you should put this on because it will put you in a better mood. I can assure you of that. This is Pure Malt by Thierry Mugler, and as I've said in previous episodes, I try to keep this one really just for very, very special occasions. I don't know. The only exception to that would be I don't know if it'd be good for ultra formal, just because it is a bit boozy. It's a mix of rum and caramel and tobacco. It's a very masculine, sexy fragrance. Pure Malt, Thierry Mugler, coming in at a robust number 3, and I don't think it's been discontinued. People like Pure Havane more because that one has actually more tobacco, but I like the caramel mixed with the rum whiskey note in this, with a backdrop of a little bit of a hint of a tobacco. Great stuff. Pure Malt, number 3. Okay, number 2, the silver medal then. This one has to go to none other than, another good one, Man in Black. Bvlgari Man in Black. Bvlgari Man in Black, I mean, what else do you want? It's an EDP. It's an eau de parfum. It lasts a long time. It's higher concentration. Made by Alberto Morillas, one of the best parfumers in the world of all time. It is relatively affordable. Okay, I got a 3.4 100 ml at a department store for well under $100. That's pretty good. You could get this probably at a discounter for even cheaper, no doubt. It is another exquisite blend of gentleman, formal, mixed with evening bad guy leather jackets. All right, so if you're looking for something where you can say, "Hi, I'm multifaceted. I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to wear a jacket, a necktie, dress shoes, okay." And then I'm going to go to a few events during the day. Then at night, I'm going to put on my leather jacket, get on my motorbike, and head out for the night. This will pull off both equally as well. It is professional. It is also sexy and romantic. It is pretty much anything you would want it to be in terms of the ideal for a guy. This is truly a masculine fragrance, and I absolutely, I have no doubt that this will be a classic in the future. Man in Black, Alberto Morillas, you are the man. This is one of his best ever. All right, on to number 1. I'll give you another hint. It always wins the best. It always wins the best fragrance with worst bottle ever in my collection award. Okay, so now what is it? Here it is. You know, I got to tell you, there's a lot of people who are clicking right now and not watching this any longer. But the truth is, Invictus by Paco Rabanne is my number 1 compliment getter. Don't have to like it, folks. A lot of people do not like this. They'll pawn this off as kind of a typical frat boy cologne, and I don't agree with that. By the way, it is for clubbing. I mean, this is the target audience is clearly 20 to 25 men hitting the clubs. Clearly, that's me. Okay, clearly that's me. Now. So I'm not necessarily their target audience, but I really like Invictus by Paco Rabanne. It is another one. It's a mix of kind of youthful bubblegum quality with woods. So again, it's this kind of balance of kind of sweet and bubblegum and raspberry. It has kind of a fruit feel to it, kind of similar to Touch. But then it and Montblanc Individuel actually. But then it goes on. In fact, some people have compared Montblanc Individuel to Invictus. That one's going to have a little bit more sweetness as far as fruit, the grape popsicle, and this is going to be a little bit more of a bubble gum quality. I'm not sure exactly what note that is. You guys can help me out there, but it's another one that's really nice. Most frag heads will give this a thumbs down because it's kind of produced for the mass audience. I don't really care. I love this fragrance. I really like it. You know that I detest the bottle. The bottle couldn't. I mean, look how hard. I'm going to get arthritis just from having to press down and spray that. The trophy on the man's bicep in the commercial, and then behind there's the camera, and then when the women see him enter the room, all the sheets come off their bodies. I mean, it's really, really bad. Okay, Paco, you need to stop being so corny on your marketing. That said, you got to give compliments where compliments are due, and no other appropriate place than a top 10 compliment getter. There you have it, guys. That's my top 10 plus an honorable mention. Had a few ties. Hope you really liked it. Something different for me. If you don't like compliment getters, but you made it through this episode, thank you very much. And if you like this, I really appreciate all of the suggestions you guys had for me to do it. Always remember, if you're watching this on a Friday, it's one day away officially from winter. So happy winter, happy Friday. And if you're not watching this on a Friday, always remember, here at That Cologne Guy, it's always Friday. Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it. I absolutely love doing these. It's the highlight of my week. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and if you have already, please recommend this channel to others. Take care, and always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. I can't spray around. Boom. And you know what? It's an Invictus day. Take care.